Today we are reading a passage from chapter 10 of The Forgotten Pearl. We will be making inferences to enhance our understanding of characters in the text.
Our learning intention is inferring by reading between the lines to identify characters' feelings that are suggested or implied on pages 111 to 113.
The success criteria for students. How will I know when I've met the learning intentions? I will be successful when I am thinking about my own experiences or prior knowledge, I'm finding clues in the text, I'm combining text clues to what I know and have read.
I acquire the ability to read between the lines to identify the author's message. I complete an anchor chart with evidence and inferences, and I use Explain Everything to monitor learning, highlighting text to show evidence and recording inferences. What is an inference? Take a few moments to read this page.
Here is a chart that we made earlier in the year. Remember, when you are reading, you infer by
Using clues from the text,
thinking about what I already know,
thinking about how a character handles change,
thinking about how a character feels,
thinking about what a character says,
thinking about a character's actions,
thinking about how a character handles conflict,
thinking about your own experiences. I'm going to read through a couple of pages and we're going to be making inferences and just modelling what you need to do. Chapter 10, Farewell. A loud rapping on the front door announced the arrival of a harried warden, his uniform already drenched in sweat. He carried an officious-looking list several pages long that was crisscrossed with pencil marks. Honey barked loudly in warning, her hackles raised. "Is your mother home, Poppy?" asked the warden. "I'll just fetch her," she replied, feeling a sudden headache coming on. "She's in the kitchen." Now, I'm just looking at this part here. I think that she felt the headache coming on was more that it was a sign of stress or anxiety about the news that was about to be delivered. So I think Poppy was feeling a bit under pressure and a bit stressed. Okay. Honey stood guard over the warden until Poppy and her mother returned. The dog ran to Poppy, her tail wagging enthusiastically, now that her job protecting the family was done. Poppy leant against the veranda post, anxious to know what the man had to say. "Good morning, Mr. Anderson," Cecilia said. "What can I do for you?" "G'day, Mrs. Traherne," the warden replied, his helmet at her. "As you know, we've begun evacuating the women and children. 200 odd left yesterday on the Kalinda. Tomorrow, more than 500 leave on the Zealandia, and you and your daughters are on the list."
Poppy breathed in deeply. This was the news she had been dreading. After reading that sentence, I think Poppy was dreading the fact that she may have to evacuate and leave loved ones, including her beloved pets, behind. I made this inference by using background knowledge of previous chapters. Now that we have modelled how to make an inference, we would like you to upload pages 111 to 113, demonstrate inferences, highlighting the evidence, and then voicing your thinking. First of all, use the anchor chart to write down your evidence and inference. Then once you have finished the anchor chart, upload the pages from your book onto Explain Everything and show your learning in the same way that we have modelled.
Here is an anchor chart that I have completed from my inference that I made reading page 110 or 108 in the ebook. The wording from the text was that Poppy could feel a sudden headache coming on, and I've added that to that my prior knowledge. I know that Poppy is worried about her brother and about being made to leave her home. I also know that sometimes when people are worried, it can make them feel sick. So with the evidence from the text plus my prior knowledge through reading the text and things that I already know, I've made my inference, which is that Poppy's headache was caused by her feeling stressed and anxious about the news she was about to receive. So we would now like you to complete your anchor chart with all of your inferences from the stated pages, and then use that information to complete your recording on Explain Everything.